Tim here. We're at the inaugural taping of Big Tim's ChopperHead Clubhouse, and our first guest is Brady Walker and his wonderful partner, Caroline.
Baby girl looking so seductive, at the same time fine, meaning she's coming with me. Black label dealing, true religion, and risk free. She want a rock star with big cars and big cheese.
They're going to be talking about their new venture, Ramming Speed, and we're going to go right into it. Brady, how did this all come together?
Well, Ramming Speed was born mostly of motorcycles and having fun on motorcycles. And I've been racing for a while, vintage motorcycles, and we've always wanted to come up with a name for the team. And we couldn't figure out, I didn't have any inspiration at all. And I sort of thought more about what was important to me, what felt good to me, and I went back to my sign, my Aries. I'm an Aries, and I said, well, my racing number is 69, my sign is an Aries, and one day it all came together and came up with Ramming Speed. It was a little bit tongue-in-cheek, and actually it is a good description of what we kind of do every day. Ram. Get out there, ramming, we push it to the limit.
That's because I have a Ramming Speed.
I know. Well, do you know what? It works on that too, and eventually we may branch out into pornography after I get too old to race anymore.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Right? Does that sound good?
What's your Ramming Speed? So how did Caroline get involved with this?
We started dating a couple of years ago, and she's been fantastic following me around. She loves bikes as much as I do, and she'd come to the races with me, and she didn't get into it. She was just sort of there all along. And when I came up with the idea, and we sort of just been sort of rolling with it very undercover for about a year, and just sort of naturally seeing where it would progress. And Caroline has just been my partner and doing everything that I do and helping me out. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have some interest in racing myself. I'm not a road course girl. I don't need all these people dive bombing me from left to right around these turns. I want to live a long, healthy life if I can help it. But we did go do one thing one time that actually we're trying to get it together for this year, racing the Salt Flats at Bonneville, which is just fast and straight. There's no one else in your way. It's all about time trials. I think all of that stuff has value too, certainly. That's something that we love about it, and I think everyone who participates with ARMA would agree. It's definitely part of the fun of it all. Even when you lose, it's still a ton of fun. I mean, we're talking like old fat guys on super ancient bikes, and they're out there whooping his ass. They're just amazing, So we love to hang out with all these random weird people. It's all great. But it definitely won't suck to be taking home a few checkered flags this year.
Cool. Well, getting to the racing, it's very expensive to do.
Yeah, it
so
is.
Who's sponsoring you? Who's helping you out?
Well, first of all, Gary got me into it. He helped me out with my clutch yesterday, and he has a little racing company called Toad Town Racing. But I've been spending a lot of time with my friend Jay LaRosa. He owns a really awesome company called Lost Engineering. He does a lot of custom cafe bikes, and he's been helping me fabricate, get the bike dialed in, little odds and ends that I'm like, what do we do here? And he's been helping me out with that. And financially, a couple of great companies, including Deus Ex Machina. They're a big lifestyle company, and they've got a store in Venice. They have supported us. They'll, whatever we need, they're there for support at the track. Letting us borrow the van, whatever. Last year and the year before, my focus was to get through the race, see how good I do, and then start the party, because everyone's there. It's a great time, but we are actually going to take it a little bit more seriously this year.
He is. I'll be partying.
She'll be partying.
Heavily.
Okay. And as Caroline's the costume designer and does costumes and everything like that, one of the funnest things was last year when we were racing, or the first year we met. And after I'm coming in or going out, and she's helping me and trying to get my big leather suit. It's a big thing,
It's a
massive
production,
suit,
getting in and out
boots,
of the leather.
gloves. You've got about $3,000 or $4,000 worth of gear on to protect yourself, while you're racing. And she's helping me. I'm like, what are you doing? And I stopped, and she's like looking at me. I'm like, oh my God, you do this for a living. And she was so good at it, and so everyone was jealous after that, because whatever she's doing, as soon as the race, she's the first one there, waiting for me when I come in, helping me in, getting the stuff off. What do we need to do? And having that is worth more than any of the racing, more than the trophies or anything. At the end of the day,
Oh,
we
they
have
do.
so
Really?
much fun. Yes, we do.
Oh,
We have so
Mark.
much fun, and we make a lot of other racers jealous, and so that's kind of fun too.
Well, that's ramming speed.
That's ramming speed.
Ramming
they say.
speed.
That's
So
the
how
way.
are you guys going to bring more people into the ramming speed?
Well, again, we've slowly, last year, sort of just started hinting at it. And since it's sort of our credo and it could be, it could be a business, it could be a million things. It's just a concept right now. And essentially what we do is those who help us out will help them out. I started off doing events, maybe 10 years ago, starting off just helping as a stage manager. And now I'm fully producing events from concept to bankroll to cleaning up the trash at the end of the event. And I think that ramming speed may try to in the years coming up, as maybe I transition out of my job that I currently have as my day job as an audio engineer, we may, depending on when we do decide to leave Los Angeles, we might sort of, make it a little company, maybe have it more revolving around events, getting people into just having fun. I mean, it's about having fun. It's about going out there. It's not about winning or losing. I feel like I'm channeling our friend Julian Hebekausen, who is the manager over at Deus Customs, and he's always like, he's got this Australian
Fun.
accent. It's all about fun. If you come in first and you're not having fun, then it's not worth it at all.
You want in? You want in? Ramming speed?
You want in?
Yeah, I want in.
You're in,
You're
dude.
in.
I'm in.
That's
You're already
it.
in.
That's all it takes.
That's
You're
all
in.
it takes.
You're in.
And so again, it's what we'll see. We're gonna see where it goes at this point.
All right, so me and Brady met through the Venice Vintage Motorcycle Club, which he is a member of.
Yes.
How long have you been a member of the club?
When I started hanging out with these guys, it was just a tight-knit group of people that had met in Venice, bar hopping, and I came along and I knew a couple of the members, and this is probably 2007, 2008, and we were just having drinks one night late back at this place called the Stronghold, back when they used to have a speakeasy upstairs, and we were just like, we should do an event here and have vintage motorcycles. There's lots of people with vintage motorcycles. I'm like, I know how to do that. I've been doing that for a long time. And thus was born the very first one. And from there, nowadays we have about 30 members in the club. And when we induct new people and bring them in, there's a little bit of a, well, it's not called hazing, but what do you call when they prospect in,
Yeah.
And but back then it was just like, okay, you're part of the club now. It wasn't even like a question. It was just sort of like, we're in the club, and it was probably about 10 or 12 of us. And as we knew we were onto something, this is before the big boom of everyone spending thousands and
Hipster
thousands of dollars
Central
to
hadn't
CD350
popped
and
out
everyone
yet,
getting
yeah.
on the board. We knew we had something really cool, and we didn't have a budget. We didn't have a lot of money. We didn't even know what would happen. We just said, let's just do something and see where it goes. And this will be our 8th year, and we have about 10,000 people come through. We had like 30 or 40 vendors. We're gonna expand it this year. Maybe bring in some more games, something related to motorcycles. Our friends at BA Moto do mini bike races. Maybe we'll do something like that. Just try and bring in more of an experience for the spectators. And we started off, having, cold beers out of the cooler, hiding from the cops when they're coming by the first one. And now we've got, big beer gardens, and maybe I'll bring in some specialty cocktail kind of things, because I know people come to this event because they want to have fun, they want to experience motorcycles, and someone can come there at 10 a.m. and be there until 6 p.m. with the music and the raffle, and we raffle up. The club's building a bike. I'm going right from here over there to help build this old Triumph, and we give it away, So everyone stays all day. It's a really fun event, and that's how I got in the club. I just sort of had some ideas, and I just pushed it to the limit, and
The rally was born.
the rally was born, and I was in the club, and so the thing's just sort of rolling now. We're at a critical mass, but there's always new people hanging out with us, and some of the older members move on, have kids, move out of state, move out of country, and so it's a good 10 or 15 guys always around, still doing stuff.
Well, the event, I can attest, gets bigger every year. Bigger and better every year.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. For some reason, it it's always on the hottest day in September.
Why is that?
We don't choose it
It's
that
crazy.
way.
It'll
but
be
it does
75 degrees for a week, and then that day it'll be 100 degrees.
And we're
in
right on
Venice.
the beach, and I don't know why, but it's. I think that's the other reason that we're trying to bring in more bars to keep everyone cooled down.
You gotta hydrate.
That's more ice. We had last year. I think I made 3 or 4 calls to Glacier, Arctic Glacier, like get your ass back here.
God,
I
I made
just left
some of
and I
those
turned back
runs,
around.
yeah.
But yeah, the rally is just. I've had every year. I've got these old crusty guys that I don't know who these people are. They come up to me and they're like, I've been living in California, Southern California for 40, 50 years and doing this shit for that long, and I've never seen anything as good as this. And I think because of the way, I mean, there's lots of this happening now. A lot of different people, a lot of different kind of genres, a lot of whatever they're focusing on.
Women,
but related to motorcycles, women,
dirt biking,
dirt bikes,
choppers, sportsters, whatever.
I kind of like to think that even though there's been events going on for a long, long time, I think that we're right on the cusp of getting hot again, and that's been happening for about the last 8 or 10 years. Vintage bikes have turned more from just a little hobby for random weirdos to now it's like, oh yeah, you gotta go get a vintage bike, and this is really, really cool, and you gotta go ride on third Sundays, and you gotta come to the rally, and I think it's great. Again, ramming speed, bringing everyone together, again, just to have fun and get out and ride. And if you don't know how to ride, just try it and see what happens. And if you do know how to ride, see how stupid you can be and see how fast you can go and how many little tricks you can do before you crash and look like an idiot. I mean, whatever suits your needs. We're not gonna hate. We're not gonna exclude you because you don't have a vintage bike or a road racer, or you don't race, or you're not competitive. It's all about just getting out there and having a good time.
You know what we need to do? We need to make a dirt bike category for the bike show and the rally.
I think that'd be great. Maybe we can
That's
have
because I have dirt bikes. I would like to enter in that.
we can do a wheelie contest too.
That's a great idea.
I think the fire marshal
It's
will
going to
love
be good
that.
insurance on that one, huh?
And I want to let people know that it is, the rally arena is in Venice.
It's at
You
Venice
guys,
Beach.
these are Venice people.
Yeah.
And so when you come to the rally, you have to realize that it's not just going to be people who are motorcycle enthusiasts. It's Venice Beach.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a guy walking around with a parrot on his head.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, every weirdo on the planet is
someone-
there.
That show is going to be on.
Someone
Yeah.
following you to wait for you to put down that beer can so
Right.
you can take it and collect it to
Right.
go home.
So there's the local freak show that's there.
It's always
24/7.
great eye
And
candy. No,
that's
it's
the
a
other
good
thing
point.
that makes the event special is that it took me a long time pounding on the city. The city didn't want us to have it down there. Venice Beach is the largest attraction in Southern California, which almost makes me feel that it's the largest attraction in the whole country, Took over Disney World 10 or 15 years ago. And so it was hard to get the location where we got it. It's kind of neat. It's kind of a boutique event, but it's not like so many people that say, let's go out to Riverside and have this massive event.
Yeah.
It's really easy to do because guess what? There's not people
There's
out
a
there.
limited
And
amount
there's
of
nothing you
space
can
here.
do. And so that's what
Yeah.
makes it special is that it's kind of boutique. We have this big morning run where we go down Main Street in Santa Monica all the way down through Malibu. And we're talking like 300 bikes. Once they go down the incline onto PCH, I've never got to go because I'm managing the event and getting everyone set up. Minutes go by, miles go by of bikes, and it's just a force to be reckoned with. And I think that's what brings everyone down early. They go do their thing, come back all day long, and by the time the event is done at around 7, you're done. You're tired. You're toast. Let's clean up.
I
Let's
think
go get
that's
a
part of
shower,
what makes it
pass
unique
out.
to this event is that it includes every kind of bike. It's really not just vintage. It's not just big baggers. It's not sport bikes. It's everyone shows up with a huge variety of motorcycles. So it's nice to see that community coming together as a giant group. I mean, we're all two-wheel riders. Why not? No reason to hate.
Fantastic. Well, how do people get in touch with you? And if they want to get involved with Ramming Speed, or if they want to know about the rally, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
You know what? That's one thing that's been hard for me over the years, starting businesses and having websites and being very accessible. I think the easiest way to get hold of me is I think I'm the only one with the phone number on the Venice Vintage website.
You are.
Okay.
We've met great people that way.
We have met
Yeah.
great people. Our friend Dan from Atlanta, but if you go to the website,
Which is?
VeniceVintage.com, it's pretty simple. I think under the contact section you can find me. Other than that, you probably have to look
Facebook,
up Facebook. I'm on there. I'm a Brady
Instagram.
Walker and Ramming Speed, and reach out. I get weird calls from people all the time, and
We love weirdos.
we love weirdos, and we're open to discussion. But as we start to ramp up towards the event, it's just it's in your face on all social media channels, and it's easy to find. But the best way is to come out to the races. I guess this is probably not going to be shown before these races are going to be happening, but go to the website, check it out. You'll see what the club does. You'll be able to get a hold of me.
Contact number, email is all available on that website for you.
Okay.
That's the best.
All right, so we had our inaugural guest, Brady and Caroline of Ramming Speed. And I'd like to thank you both for coming out and supporting me.
Thank you,
Thank
Tim.
you. Congratulations.
We're,
This is awesome.
Yes, this is really
We're
cool.
off and running.
There we
Awesome.
go.
You guys.
Thank you.